So I'm definitely excited about this opportunity to talk about game development and narration, and also to be a part of this competition. So, Dr. Lagrange, can you tell us a little bit more about that part?
Yeah, about the competition. So
Yes.
we decided to put together this competition, and the deadline is September 1st. So it's something important to note because it's coming up soon. And what you got to do if you want to participate in the competition is just write a one-page dialogue.
One
We're
page.
gonna, exactly, just one page. So the prompt is available online on the GGDA website. If you Google just GGDA Game Narrative, you will end up on the page with the prompt. But it's very simple. It's just a dialogue with, I think, two player lines and another character.
Hmm.
Uh, so this one page dialogue, and we're gonna judge, what you sent to us, and then the finalists will be able to have their dialogue recorded by Bob Carter's students,
Hmm.
and it will be presented at the Siege. So you will be able to, present your work, network, etc. So very exciting opportunity if you're interested in game narrative design.
Now, will the narrative also have characters that will actually voice those, or avatars, or skins, or will there be some kind of a background or anything like that? Any kind of framing or anything going along with that?
So that would be great. Yes, I envision probably working with experts because I don't know, you can participate in this competition even if you have no background in, actual game design.
Right.
Uh, so yes, partnering with industry expert to try and build something, that would, illustrate this dialogue would be great.
All
Mhm.
right.
Excellent, excellent, excellent. And yeah, one of the things that, Bob, obviously you're bringing to this are the voice actors, because I think it's great to write scripts all day long, but if you hand it off to someone and it turns out to be an awful recording session and they can't really do well with it, you're in bad shape. You have to know your voice actor, and we're going to try and teach you how to start dealing with voice actors. So when you're working on your script, you're going to first submit the script, and then you'll have a chance to get, if it's chosen, you'll have a chance to work with a voice actor to get it recorded. Bob, do you want to start the conversation on what it's like working with a voice actor? What do those voice actors need?
Sure. We need, first and foremost, we need a clear description of the concept of your character. We need to know what kind of personality they might have. We need to know if they speak with an old English accent, or a California surfer accent, or if they sound like they're from the future, or if they sound like a Keebler elf. What are the vocal tones that you're specifically looking for when it comes to this particular character that's in your mind. And then once you've given us an idea of what the character should, or how they should portray their personality, then we want to have the different lines. And of course, the cleaner it can be, the better. A lot of times when we get auditions, if it's one or two lines, if you can just specify that these are not in the same scene, that these are just different, they're from different scenes, but this gives you an overall viewpoint of what the character should sound like. That can help. Um, Also, a little bit of insight into the what that scene might mean, because a lot of times we're only getting 4 or 5 lines, and if we have no idea of if we have no idea of the background of what's happening in this scene, then we'll just create our own narrative. I mean, because we have to make something from nothing. So the more description that you can give us, the better. So if it's, this is a climactic scene between father and son as they face off, and the son is trying to redeem the father. Meanwhile, the father is trying to win the son over to his corrupted side, whatever it might be. But if there's some kind of a description there, or if it's, um, this is in the finale of the scene, and one of the actors is trying to reclaim the relic for a museum. Meanwhile, the other wants the power for himself. Great. That gives us an idea of whatever that scene might be. Does it make sense? Cool.
Absolutely. So, since all of you will be very involved with this competition, I'd love to get your insights about what you think will make a good script for this. So, starting with you, Dr. Lagrange, since you'll be the first one receiving these, what are you looking for? I mean, formatting isn't going to kill one, but what's a good formatting for it? What sort of information you want to see? What'll make it stand out?
So I think several things that will make it stand out are like cohesion. So the dialogue should be cohesive, and it should have a clear purpose. So either giving a new quest, or that kind of thing. And in the dialogue, you should feel that the characters have complex personalities, even the NPC. So yeah, those are the main things that we'll be looking for. And then obviously the quality of the writing, because it goes without saying.
And
But
when it gets to you, Bob, what are you going to look for? What do you think will make one do well in the hands of a voice actor? What makes you look at it and say, I want to hand this off to somebody?
Clear, well, if it's going to be dialogue, clear conflict or clear, again, between two characters. Since it's one page, you want to make sure that you're getting the full impact of whatever the theme is, right? Whether it's person versus person, person versus nature, person versus self, person versus society. Make sure that the themes are clearly defined, and then make sure that your words, because every word matters, make sure that your words have weight. There are certain phrases or sentences that are said to us that resonate with us our entire lives, right? Whatever mean things have been said to us, right? The things that hurt, our feelings that always stay in our minds, put that on the paper, right? That makes a great villain, because that's always going to matter. Whatever really inspires you, whatever changes your life for the better, put that on the paper, because again, the most significant words and sentences and phrases that have stayed with you throughout your entire lifetime, that matters. And obviously you remember it. So try to put that on the paper, because again, it's only one sheet. So it's got to be very intense, and it's got to be very succinct at the same time.
And Paul, you've done a lot of the game design work that goes around game narration. So these obviously aren't scripts for movies. These are scripts for a game. What is going to make it look to you as if it's coming from a good game as opposed to just ripped from some movie script?
A few challenges that we can throw to the people participating in this. For example, can you do something that is expository? Can you do something that advances the plot or helps us understand what's happening without having it read like it's exposition?
Yeah.
There's a great challenge to be, can you get me to understand what might be happening next without it feeling like natural language, which I know that actors, Bob and his group will really appreciate, because it has to be natural speech. It has to be something that people would do. Can you provide something in your script that will move my emotions for a reason? So I'll give you an example. When you read a novel, sometimes you read the first line of a novel. Catch-22 would be a great example. And you say, hey, wait a minute, I remember that line. I remember in the game that we did called The Darkness, that the first line of the game was the main character saying, I remember the first time I died. Which is an interesting line, because it couldn't when was the second time, right? And so if you can maybe give us something that moves our emotions, if you go as exposition that doesn't feel expository in nature, I think those would be the kind of challenges those are the things that I would certainly be looking for. Have you moved my emotions in a really short period of time? Because if you can do it on paper, then you've given the actors and the producers and so on, and the director, the tools to even move us further along. The actors are going to bring something, the director will bring something to that, because the basic building block of anything is the script.
But are there any last words of advice you can give for everyone out there aspiring to be involved in this? And I will give the first, and that is actually do it. Even if you don't care about winning or anything like that, just write it. Everyone watching this video or in the chat will benefit from sitting down and trying to write some game dialogue, whether they submit or not. And once you've written it, go ahead and submit it.
Mm-hmm.
I was gonna say the same thing. Like, don't be scared to submit what you write. It's always good to have someone look at it. So yeah, please go ahead.
Yeah, I think it speaks to something that I said when I was at the GGDA meeting last week, and they kind of pulled me down on stage. And one of the things that I think is really important for people to understand is that writers don't write, writers finish. In other words, don't be in the process of writing and don't take forever. Instead, put it down and finish it. See what you've got, because once you've got something, you know what you've done wrong at that point. You can begin to self-edit. But unless you finish something, you won't have anything. If you never hand it in, you've never written anything. So I think just take the plunge and do what we call the vomit draft, the horrible one that we hate. And once you've got that, then go from there.
Absolutely. And play. Again, if it's not fun, you're not going to do it. But this should be fun, right? I mean, this is your story. This is your chance to bring your own creation to life. And who knows? Obviously, you're going to get it in front of our eyes, and we're more than happy to help pass that along to other people who can potentially help you down the road. So play. Be willing to do this.
All right. Really appreciate everybody joining us. If you do have questions, go ahead and email. Dr. Lagrange has very graciously put her email up on this, so reach out to her. All of the folks you're seeing here and others will be involved in the final decision making. We will have prizes, including GGDA memberships. And Bob, Paul, Dr. Lagrange, definitely appreciate all your times. Thank you for joining us tonight. And we will see you on the script page soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye, everybody.